Good evening, guys. Um, I'm so sorry I was held up. Uh, I had a couple of things to attend to, and I was working to beat time, but somehow I couldn't. How are we doing? How have we been? What have we been up to? What has been happening for the past 2 weeks? Has anybody? 2 weeks. We've not seen in 2 weeks. Has anybody done anything new? Has anybody Has anyone done anything interesting that they would like to share before we move? Chisom, have you bossed them on the group that we have started? Some of them if you don't forget. Hello, Sonny, can you hear me? Can anybody even hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry?
I didn't get what you said.
So I'm saying, have you bossed them on the group that we have started?
Okay, let me do that, sir. Sorry.
Okay. I see Messi, I see Emmanuel, I see Cassie, and I see Sonny. You people are very much welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, bro. It's good that you guys made our time to be here. You know, the thing about information like this is that it's very valuable and it's very life transforming. Anyone that pays attention to the things I'm teaching and the things I'll continue to teach, you would have a very easy path through life. Information makes all the difference. What you know makes all the difference. So I encourage you guys to keep being consistent as you have always been. We're going to kick off right away without wasting further time. The concept of everything works is one that is very fundamental in the life of every one of us. It is fundamental because nothing starts from the top. Everything has a foundation. If it's something that is inanimate, it becomes easy to manage the foundation. But if it is a human being that has feelings, emotions, is subject to culture, is subject to environmental pressure, dealing with foundation would not be one that you would need a lot of information to help you navigate. So you would face life responding instead of reacting. Now, the idea of everything works simply means that everything your hands has found to do is working, irrespective of what you are seeing. Most times we are so caught up with measuring height. But because depth is something that we do not have any tool to measure, it looks like depth is immaterial. But depth is much, much, much more important and profitable than height. Because depth determines what you can carry. So, when what you are doing is not generating money the way you want, is not generating views the way you want, is not generating likes, comments, shares, and attention, the way you want, that shouldn't mean that it is not working. That's the summary of what I want to discuss with you tonight. That does not mean that it is not working. No matter what the metrics are, so long as they are external, they can never be a true reflection of what is happening with the work your hands have found to do. This is serious. Pay attention. So no matter what the metrics are, no matter what the environmental measurements are, no matter what even people that have no idea about your vision and dreams are, no matter what they say, no matter what they think, so long as those things do not come from within you, they will not always be a true reflection of what you are doing. I often say this: people see things the way they are, not the way things are. So you might be a content creator and you make a post and you get only one like. Somewhere within you, you feel that one like is an assessment of everything your brain has to give. It's not true. It is nowhere near an assessment of who you are. It is nowhere near an assessment of what you can produce. It simply means that it's nothing about you. Or will I say it's not always about you. What it simply means is that people are free to choose what they will like and what they will not like. And you have to respect that. Because if you pay attention to people's ratings so much, you would forget that the work you're doing is probably profiting you much more than what people tend to see. If you go and check out the first model of computers or cameras or whatever, you would never imagine that we would be able to get to where we are now. This is very profound. The phone on your hand, if you could go check out the first phone that was produced, you would know that in producing that phone, you can never know what the future will look like. No matter what people say, no matter what happened to the phone, no matter how the phone was made, no matter what was said, both good and bad, we're not looking like anything that the future had to offer. It will mean that more often than not, even you have no idea of what you are capable of if you can just stay. Now, some persons are so fixated on finding someone that can be a ladder or a stepping stone and forget that deepening their craft is more important. My God. So, hey, God help me. I wish the people in this our group can be joining these sessions, because saying these things is just, I wish more people can hear it. So you are doing something, you are doing a business, you are taking a course, you just started something newly, you've done it and you've done it and you've done it and it's not working out, and suddenly you are looking for maybe people that can connect you, that can link you up, that can involve you. Paying less attention to deepening the work you are doing. So you walk into rooms where merit is going to be a factor, but you came with bribe. God, I beg. Because somewhere in your head, you need to have an extra kind of long leg to bypass something that you are clearly inadequate at. Now, this bribe might not also be might not just be money, it might be just mere wishes. You just wish, you just hope that somebody will just come your way and just order 10,000 cartons of what you are selling. And you have ignored deepening what you are doing. So when merit is required, all you have is bribe. You are looking for somebody you know that is inside. You are looking for a way out. You are looking for a shortcut. So now, you are starting with compromise, you are ending with compromise. You now have to answer yes, sir, to everybody. You now have to obey whatever it is they're telling you to do because you feel indebted to people.
Yes, sir.
The work, I want you to pay attention to this. The work your work is doing on you is much more important than the work you want it to do for you. There is a level of capacity you build and your future can stand on. That is what whatever work you're doing is trying to achieve. And some of us are so careless to the point where, Chisom, please, can you mute your mic? Some of us are so careless to the point where, Sonny, please, can you mute your mic? Some of us are so some of us are so careless to the point where you have leverage. You are doing something, but it is not making you as much money as you want. But you have someone or some other thing that is giving you some money to live by. What you do is that you ignore the leverage you have and you begin to chase more money. You never realize that that leverage you have is like somebody paying you to do IT. What that leverage is meant to do is, that leverage is meant to help you take care of your immediate bills and give you enough mental space to deepen what you are doing. But no, you ignore what you're doing in pursuit of more money that you end up never making. So, the work you're doing is much more important. The work your work is doing on you is much more important than the work you want it to do for you. And this is also true because the work your work is doing on you can translate into other works. Let me explain what I mean. If you can learn A, B, C, D, and you start spelling, A is for apple, C is for cat, D is for dog. If you want to spell hippopotamus, you will not need to go and learn A, B, C, D again. Because you were patient enough to learn A, B, C, D and used it to spell apple. To spell hippopotamus, you do not need to learn A, B, C anymore. But if you jump the class of learning A, B, C because you were not patient enough And because of that, you were not able to spell apple. You cannot spell hippopotamus. They are two different words, but the foundation is same. If you are following me, let me get a thumbs up or a reaction. All right, thank you. So the concept of everything works is that it's either the work you're doing is working for you or is working on you. But most people never work hard long enough to find out that it can actually work for them. Some people do not even know that the work is actually working on them. Let's move. The only time you should quit what you're doing is when you realize that what you're doing is working against you. You don't quit because you feel it's not working. Because let me tell you, if you quit, you lose momentum. Whatever other thing you're going into, you will start. You can't jump the class. You will not be able to jump the class. So you only quit when you are sure that it has started to work against you. And how do you know it's working against you? First of all, your core values, your principles, your vision, the things you had planned for yourself. Not even because it's not making you enough money. Money is the last. When it's taking more time from you than necessary. And let me say this in passing. Child of God, whatever it is you are doing that takes you away from God is working against you. Woo! Yes, it is working against you. I will say it again. Whatever it is you're doing that takes you away from God is working against you. So everything works. It's either it's working for you, working on you, or working against you. Knowing what phase you are in should be what helps you to make decisions, not based on how you feel. And in the order of things, your greatest pay is the work your work does on you. That's your greatest pay. Because the work your work does on you can be translated into other areas of your life. All right. What I'm saying in essence is that you need to be very much more concerned about the growth in you than the gain you are expecting. There is one thing that we fail to understand a couple of times. Value has a pull force on reward. So what I mean is this. If you change, your environment responds. This thing I'm telling you guys is powerful. Any day the work is complete, your environment will respond. And how does your environment respond? one of the ways, which is what every young person is looking for, or in fact, almost everybody is looking for, is for the hearts of men to come towards you. So whenever the work you're doing, your work is doing on you is complete, your environment responds. Let me give you a typical example. There is a gap between those that are successful and those that are struggling. In fact, that gap is so much there is a communication gap. What I mean by communication gap is majority of those succeeding do not know how best to communicate success to those struggling. So when there is someone that is struggling and stays through that struggle, and the work that struggle is doing in that person is complete, and this person starts gravitating towards success, what God does is to give him a congregation. He becomes a pace setter. God now looks for a people and give him, follow him. So sometimes the only thing you have that is going to be valuable is your story, not even the profit you are making from the business. Because you can tell that one story 1,000,000 times and everybody still wants to hear it. And because of that one story, people trust the product you are selling. Not because the product is even really fantastic or the best in the market, but because your story. I hope you guys can hear me. I need some reactions. Very good. So because your story has become your ticket, it has become like an emblem. Everybody gravitates towards everything you are doing. Not even necessarily because what you're doing is so unique, but a congregation or a group of people has been assigned to you to lead. That is now what you call influence. But if you jump that class, you will not have anything to show. You will be regular. I see that a lot of people are doing just enough to be among the majority mediocre. Hey. Many people that feel they are working hard and putting in their best are doing just enough to be among the majority mediocre. So, what I'm trying to tell you here and now is that only few people are doing enough to be among the minority excellent. It means that the space and the vacuum up there is so much, but only very few people stay through and stay in the valley long enough so that they can be built enough to go to the mountaintop. Men are not built at the top. Any man you see that is built at the top will never ever have what it takes to remain at the top. So, the growth in you should always come before the gain. The growth in you, you should prioritize it more than the gain. What I mean is that if you miss this sequence, you will just be a regular person. You will be a regular person. Let me tell you one of my stories that I think some of you must have heard. But I'll share it again. Because anytime I share that story, it's always inspiring. I think we'll just round up in a few minutes so that you guys can ask questions, if any. But let me share the story. When I finished school as a student of computer science, I did my NYSC. I had already started coding. But when I came out of school, I got I was, my brother-in-law sent me to the company where he's working. He works there, so he like referred me because he heard I have done some certification courses in software engineering and all of that. So I went to the company, and the person that was interviewing me, which happens to be the CEO at the time, he said that, long story, I don't have anything to offer, that I should not feel like my first class is anything exceptional, that other people here, that they have other people that made a first class. I was broken. I felt so bad. So my brother-in-law said, oh, well, we have a project site in Enugu. So then it was Parklane. It was the company that built the software that Parklane uses. So the company has some staff in Parklane managing the software. So I joined them. It was in that. So in fact, when I joined Parklane, I became a manager, the site administrator. I had my office. I had an AC. I had my respect. I was the one managing purchase. So sometimes when we buy things from vendors, they give me cut. All of those things. But my Oga at the time realized that this guy had a flair for coding. So he asked me if I want to go to Lagos to be trained. I agreed that I want to go to Lagos because I always want to be a software engineer. I don't want to be a manager, just stay in an office. I want it to be that when you ask me, bro, what do you do? I will tell you I'm a software engineer. It was a thing of pride for me. Then they said that if I'm going to go to Lagos, that my salary was going to be reduced. Luckily for me, I had always had this thing that money doesn't come first. I wasn't taught, I don't know why I learned it, but I had always had this thing within me that money doesn't come first. So any money I'm getting now I'm being paid for training. They are training me and still paying me. And I need to take advantage of now that I'm young. I don't have responsibilities. I don't have anybody expecting much money from me. Nobody's looking at me. I can make all the mistakes. I need to take advantage of this season and build. I told them, no problem, I'll go to Lagos. I went to Lagos. In fact, getting to Lagos, they said they made a mistake in the letter that they would reduce the salary further. I said, no problem. So I came to Lagos. I started working, and it was so tough, so tough. I worked, long story short, I became the chief technology officer of one of the companies in that group of companies. Simply because I chose the work is doing in me much more than the gain it was giving me at the time. One thing you need to know is that gain will come, but you don't know when you need the gain most. Let me explain. Looking at your current situation, you will think you need money most now. Be careful. Be very careful. God knows that there is a stage in your life coming when you will really need money. If you take your eyes away from growth now and go after money, you will receive chicken change when the time comes when the time comes when you need real money. By that time, you must have plateaued, you must have climaxed. Then you will become a storyteller. You'll be an expert in telling story and giving excuses, probably stealing at the same time. And that one decision brought me here to be speaking to you. That one decision, that one decision, that one decision, one decision. As a software engineer, a lot of people used to look at it like, bro, you get money through your pocket. I mean, this was deep into my career, maybe 8-9 years. Meanwhile, I didn't have much. There were many things I didn't understand. So I was in the valley for long. I earned my first dollar sometime in 2022, and it wasn't even, it was a training we did. They gave us money for food. They paid us money for food in dollars. I went to go and withdraw my own from Western Union. We did a Microsoft training. It was $40. And the $40, I didn't even eat it. I sold it as seed. The first time I earned dollars as a software engineer was maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Very shocking thing. After 12 years. Because it's expected that software engineers, they collect money in dollars. I said it was after 12 years. Everything you know me for now happened in 2 years. It's not. If you have ever heard Pastor Frank, I'm telling you that everything you are seeing happened in 2 years. You need to pay attention to what I'm saying. Let me just say this last point and we wrap up. Never get addicted to working for money. Never get addicted to working for money. Money does not gravitate towards the desire for money. But I know you hear me. I said money does not gravitate towards the desire for money. Money gravitates towards a person that has grown enough to make money. Serious stuff, powerful stuff. There is a kind of person that the work you are doing that looks like it's not working is working on you. Immediately that work is complete, you become a great man. Your greatness will show forth. I have a lot to share with you. This teaching is going to probably have a part 2, part 3, because I need to tell you about why giving up can be detrimental, why persistence matters, what to do with rejection and delay. Still have a lot of things to talk about, but let me take questions, contributions. We're going to wrap up quick today. Let me hear, at least I've been speaking for maybe 30 minutes or more. So let me hear what you guys have to say. Even if it's not a question, I just want you guys to say something. If you understood, it's okay. Yes, I understood. This is where I'm having a confusion. So let's go. I mean, because it helps me know that you guys were listening. Chisom, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. My question is this way. You spoke about a decision that becomes a life-changing decision, and the illustration is based on the fact that you should actually look out for the work your work is doing on you rather than the gain right now.
Yes.
So I want to ask now, is there a remedy, or how can it be remedied if someone takes a step and focuses on the gain, maybe mistake, or based absence of information, and then someone takes the wrong step? Is there a remedy, or how can such be remedied?
All right.
I don't know if you get my question.
Clearly. I understand you clearly. In all sincerity, I wouldn't even lie to you people. The older you get, the more challenging it becomes. And this is not a theory. It's practical because more responsibilities are coming in. And the older you get, you start having slimmer chances of making mistakes, because now you have a lot more to protect. So how to fix it is to, first of all, understand what can serve as leverage for you. So what I mean is, you have made a mistake, you have followed money, and now it looks like you have climaxed. If you have something you're doing that is able to sustain you, stay on it, then stop chasing money. Do a quick rewire, and start paying attention to your growth points. So you have something you're already doing that is making you some money. Good, but stop chasing money. Make sure that what you're paying most attention now to are your growth indices. You will notice that you are struggling with communication. You go and take up a course on communication. You notice you are struggling with sales. You go and take up a course with sales and marketing. Binge watch videos on YouTube. Identify what are the areas I'm struggling with. What are the areas I'm not really competent in, but somehow I feel like once I know person go link me up. Let me tell you, you can never live for your values if you expect always for somebody to link you up. So you need to go back and do a quick rewire. Identify those growth metrics that you are failing at. Identify the places you are taking shortcuts. Sit down, take responsibility, be truthful to yourself, postpone every other form of fun and enjoyment, and do a crash course. Because where you are going to will ask you, will require those things from you. Where you are going to will require those things from you. And if you don't have them, even if by hook or by crook you get there, you will always sound empty. You don't have scars. You will always sound empty without scars. You can't help anybody. You will just excite people. You will never inspire them. Sonny, I don't know if this answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Are you sure it really does? This is your ears. Your ears get sustained. Yes.
It does.
All right. So you need to take a step back and ask yourself, what are the things I know I don't really know that I'm thinking it does not matter? What are the areas I've absconded from training? Sometimes, some of us need to go back and go and start training how to hear from God. Some of us, since we were born, we can never say, the Holy Spirit gave me this idea, told me to do this. Some of us, the Holy Spirit told me to is ambition. You know you are escaping class. You know. You know, because I'm trying not to preach. I'm trying not to wear another garment this night. Let's just be civil. But you know what I'm saying. They have been telling you that this church thing, learn how to hear from God. But the only thing that drives you is ambition and testimony. You just want to have testimony to share. There is no crystallization of your faith. Your ears are blocked. Something is telling you it doesn't matter. You will know it matters. Oh, you will know. You will know. The day you will know it matters, you will now give excuse. I used to know this person. This guy, and I'm bro. I used to know this person. Go back to your drawing board. Next question. Seems I'm going very hard tonight, but I mean, this KPG growth circle.
Good evening.
Cassie, good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's not really a question that I have. It's just like this session has brought much clarity to me because I was attempting to do something. Yes, I wanted to quit my job last month, but I knew it was working for me. I was learning, it was helping me get better in my career. And I've been building something on social media as a social media manager. But along the line, I was thinking of the funds to keep living on because I have an important project I'm working on at the moment, something with school. But somehow the whole session has been kind of, like say, enlightening on what to do. Because even when you said I should focus before I quit on anything, I should check if it's working on for or against me. And I found out that all the things were actually working on me and for me. So it's been more of a clarity session.
Yeah.
So it just enlightened me on what to do and how to go about the whole stuff to cut down on what needs to be cut down and stay
Exactly.
through the process.
Exactly.
So I thank you very much for the session, sir. It's been enlightening.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Cassie. So, the other persons, I believe, maybe you guys clearly understood.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Juliet.
I have you said something. Thank you very much, sir, for the class. It's really enlightening. And also what Cassie said also applies to me, and I'm grateful I have clarity now on that.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned something about you giving your first dollar, like you sowed it as seed. How do you manage that? Like, I'm in that state now where it's like the Lord wants me to give, let's say, like the first I would like call it a salary or something, and then I still have other maybe family responsibilities and other things too. Like how I don't even know. Like how do you just do that and then block all those things and?
Okay, I love that question because these are life questions. So first of all, the dollar was not. Then I had another job I was doing that was taking care of my bills. So I was asking God that I wanted to earn in foreign currencies. So when the training opportunity came out, it was a session that they didn't pay us salary. So they were just training us for 6 months, intensive training. We're not even sure whether they were going to give us a job. I mean, after the training, they didn't also give us a job. So I had like a job I was doing, and I told my boss at the office that I have this training. So they didn't really, bombard me with much work that season. So I was just doing the training. So, but after the training, they now gave us, we had like an end of training party kind of. So for us that were in Nigeria, because there was training in 5 African countries, we're 5 from Nigeria. For us that in Nigeria, the training was done the physical party was done in Kenya. So for us that in Nigeria, they just sent us the money equivalent of the food we would have eaten at the party. So it wasn't like I didn't have anything to follow. But the experience you're talking about, let me now answer it. I just wanted to be clear. First of all, you need to check. This thing you're saying is God that is telling you to give your first salary. Is it a need to be accepted by God? Is this something you're trying to do to impress God? I'm not saying it is, but I need you to do a proper heart check. Are you doing it because you feel like this is the right thing to do, or you feel an inner conviction? Because if you feel an inner conviction, you can never lose. It means that God is trying to take what is not enough to give you what is enough. Because even what you have, if you spend it, it's probably not going to take care of all the bills. So God is giving you a gift of faith. He's trying to do something you can't do for yourself. but he wants you to release what you're holding on to. So if you're sure that is God, you give it all out. I always have a rule that whenever I get a new job, I make a salary, no matter how big it is, I'll sow it. Until I got a job that the salary, I've never seen that kind of money to get in my account. I turned me straight. Everywhere first blow. But I gave it out and I don't regret it. So if you are sure it's the Lord and you are not doing this thing because you want God to accept you, and you're not doing it because you feel like, okay, if I do this thing, it's going to be on record, you are sure that the Lord is making this demand, there is no part of the story where you're going to lose. So I encourage you 100%. Give him. He knows how to take care of his people. Does that help you?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. You see, it's from teaching everything works. Somebody had something that relates to what they need. Sonny, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. On the everything works and the decision one takes. All right. So I want to know if there's any relationship between the decision we take, and let's say we took a wrong decision, and then the will of God. The point I'm trying to make is, sometimes we say, God, let your will be done, and then we might be hiding under that phrase to take wrong steps and decision. So I just want to know if there's any correlation between those decisions we take and then the will of God.
Okay. So the thing is this. The Bible says the steps of the righteous, they are ordered by God. You need to pay attention to that scripture. Who is a righteous? A righteous that is a man who is in right standing with God. And a right standing with God is not physical standing, it's a heart thing. If you are a sincere person and you are sincere with God, and you tell him everything the way it is, he knows how to make your mistakes to be a miracle. God knows our frailties. So, for a man in God, there is nothing totally like a bad decision. Right? A man that is close to God, by close to God, I mean constant fellowship. You have a prayer life. Let me say it that way so that I will not just throw words into the air. You have a prayer life. That's what I mean. You're going to have a lot of what is called God coincidences. By God coincidences, if you're sincere and you're not sure, but sometimes the things you did now turned out to be a bad decision, not because you intentionally chose a bad decision. Trust me, God is in there. But even if you have intentionally chosen a wrong path that God told you not to choose, or maybe you felt a prompt, you didn't know it was God, and you chose a path, then later you now realize that actually God was telling me to do this and I did not do it. He's training you. So what you're going to do is, God, have mercy on me. I'd already made this mistake. I didn't know. Help me. Help me to be able to fix this thing. He will give you another opportunity to make it right. Even if you make mistake again, he gives you another opportunity. The only thing you're praying for is that you don't make too many mistakes that you become... there are mistakes you make and mercy cannot do anything. Let me give you an example. You take a bad decision and realize at the age of 80, when you don't have strength again, what will go... For example, you went to marry the wrong partner, and now you are 80 or 90, you now realize, so what do you want to do now? So God will just... The only mercy God can give you is the grace to endure, so that you die well and come to heaven. So he will keep giving you another chance, hoping that you will not get into self-destruct. So Sonny, does this really answer your question?
Yes, I'm cool.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. Daniel, fire.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, bro.
Thank you so much for this wonderful session. God bless you, sir.
Amen.
So my question is this. I don't know how I'm going to put it up, but God will help me. Okay, for example, you are working at a place and you're also building a career for yourself. And maybe, let me say, at the long run, you've started seeing clarity and seeing light in your career path. So I want to know, and okay, as let me say, as at the time you are working there, the company or the office helped you through some things, and they helped you achieve some things. Like for example, they gave you a loan, they gave you some things to help you achieve your career path. So as at the time you've gotten clarity in your career, I want to know how